So in this video, we are going to look at division of polynomial functions using synthetic division method. So Team Rare, as usual, always hit the like button. If you haven't subscribed yet, subscribe to my channel. Always remember to comment and share with your friends and practice as usual. So in this case, I'll teach you how to do synthetic division. So we've got our dividend. Sorry, it's not dividend, it's dividend. Okay, dividend, it's D there. So even correcting that previous video because I wrote T at the end there, it's a mistake, it's dividend. Alright, so the dividend here is x to the power 3 minus 10x squared plus 13x minus 30. Then our divisor is this, x minus 3, like that. So when you do this using synthetic division, you should get your divisor, you write it aside. So in this case the divisor is x minus 3. So equate this to 0, like this. Then when you do that, your value of x is just equal to 3. Meaning, using synthetic division, you're going to write something which is looking like this, unlike long division. Then here on top, you just write the coefficient. So let me do this. This part is for x to the power 3. This is for x to the power 2. And this is for x. And this is for x to the power 0. Meaning, you just write the coefficients of these here. So the coefficient of x to the power 3 is 1. Hope you know how to do this. And the coefficient for x to the power 2 is just negative 10. So you write negative 10 there. And the coefficient for x is just positive 13. So you write 13. And the coefficient for x to the power 0 is negative 30. So you write negative 30. Because x to the power 0 is 1. Remember? So you write in this one. So this is what you're required to do when you are asked to solve or divide polynomials using what? Synthetic division. So let us get into it. So this x you found there is the number you're going to put here. Just write 3 without using any letters, x, variables, no, just numbers. Then the first step, you drop this one, meaning it will be 1 there. Then you multiply this 3 by 1. You multiply. Always here you multiply. So here there is the multiplication. Multiplication. So you multiply. So 3 by 1 is just what? 3. Then you put this in brackets. Here there is what? Addition. So when you add this term, it will give you negative 7. Like that. Again, you've got this negative 7, multiply it with the 3. So you multiply again. When you do that, this will give you negative 21. Negative 21, like that. Again, you put this in brackets, add the terms. So when you add these two terms, it means you're just subtracting 21. You're just subtracting 13 from 21. So doing that, just do this. This is your 8 there. So it will be 8. Remember? So it will be 8. So you write your negative 8 here. Negative 8, like that. Then you continue. You put this in brackets. You multiply with this, with the 3 there. So when you do that, this will give you negative 24. So this is negative 24. So when you do that, put this in brackets and add the terms. So when you add this will just give you negative 54 there. negative 54. So always remember that the number you get at the end there using synthetic division is equal to your remainder. So always write it there. Remainder is equal to negative 54, the number you get. Then when writing now the quotient, come to the quotient part. Quotient. The quotient is the answer you get. So writing this, write the numbers you have there. You've got 1, you've got negative 7, then you've got negative 8, excluding the remainder. Then when you divide, when you see this one is corresponding where x is to the power 3, so you write x to the power 3 there, and here you write x to the power 2 there, and for this is corresponding with negative 8 with the value of x. So when you do that, come through and divide this by x, by x, by x, meaning your quotient is always reduced by 1 power, meaning your answer here of the quotient, let me write it in red, it's more like x to the power 2, I mean, sorry, x to the power 2, because this and this will cancel. You remain with x to the power 2 there, and here you remain with 7, negative 7x, because this and this will cancel. Here you remain with negative 8 as your quotient. Remember here there is multiplication, 1 by x is just x, no wonder we have this. So if you don't want to divide by x, you write like this. Always reduce the powers by 1 when writing the quotient. So this is your quotient. You take it there, you write quotient, you write quotient, which is x squared minus 7x minus 8. Then when answering, as usual, answer it like this. Write the quotient there, minus 7x minus 8 plus the remainder in this case, which is negative 54, over the divisor, which is x minus what? 3. Like this. It means you've answered this question. So always do something like this. But firstly, you have to let your divisor equal to 0. Then you find the value of x. The value of x is the one you're going to put here. Then you start dropping by dropping the first term. So doing this, here you just write coefficients. The coefficient of x to the power 3 is 1, x to the power 2 is negative 10, x is just 3, x to the power 0 is negative 30. Then when you drop the 1, you multiply the number which is here with the number down there, meaning 3 by 1. You write your positive 3 there. Then you put the 3 in brackets, add. When you add, you're going to have negative 7. Again, you continue. 3 by negative 7, you get negative 21. You add this. First you put in brackets, then add, you're going to have negative 8. Again, you multiply negative 8 by 3, you get negative 24 here. You add, you get this negative 54. So this, the number at the last there, at the end, is always the remainder. No wonder I wrote this here as the remainder. Then when computing our quotient, you get the numbers which are down here except the remainder. Then you just reduce these, the original ones were these, you reduce these by 1, meaning you divide by x throughout. You get this as your answer. Then you write it in this form. So this is your quotient. No wonder we've written this where there is quotient, and you write your final answer in the expected format. So having done this, I think I can give you one example to do, or let me do the second example for you, then I'll give you one example to do, so that you leave your comments in the comment section. So you're going to leave your answers there as the comments. So let us grab this. So you guys are very powerful, team rare. These are the things you should be getting everything correct when you come across with them in your test, quizzes, exams. Alright, so another case, I've got this. So let me just do this. I search for my calculator, but in your case you're not allowed to use calculators. Just search for my calculator. Alright, let me put it there, because the next example just got terms. Okay, I'll be trying. I don't want the video length to be that long. So the dividend is this: 15x squared plus 68x plus 96. Then here we've got the divisor, which is x plus 4. Okay, so as usual, the first step is you get your divisor. In this case is x plus 4. You multiply it, or you equate it to 0, sorry. Then you find the value of your x. So in this case, if you add the additive inverse, there it will be negative 4 plus this. Even in the other side, negative 4, meaning this and this will cancel, leaving you with x, which is what? It's equal to 4. So this is how you are expected to do, but in your case, you just say, hey, let 4 cross this equal sign and it becomes negative. But in the actual sense, you have to add the additive inverse of the number you have. So find the value of x is negative 4, meaning when writing in your synthetic format, you write it like this. Here you've got the coefficient of x to the power 3. Here you've got, it's not always you follow the degree of the polynomial given. So in this case, you've got the coefficient here for x to the power 2, and the coefficient for x, and the coefficient for x to the power 0. Then in commons right now, the coefficient of x to the power 3 is just 1. The coefficient of x to the power 2 is 15. The coefficient of x is 68, and the coefficient of x to the power 0 is 96. Then you write the value of x you found using the divisor here, which is negative 4. Then you start by dropping your 1 there, the first term always. So when you drop, 1 will be there. You multiply this by this. Negative 4 by 1, simply negative 4. Then you add this. Here you add this plus this term with this term. When you do that, it will give you positive 9, positive 11. Because it's like this, minus, so it's positive 11. Again, you multiply the answer you have, you get there with the negative 4 there, meaning you're going to have negative 44. When you do that, you put this in brackets and add. When you add this, you're going to get your answer as 4 there and 24 here, like this. Then you continue multiplying. So when you multiply 4 by 24, you're going to get a 16 there. So you've got this 24 by negative 4. So you're going to have 16. Then 4 by 2 is 8. 8 plus 1 is 96. So in this case, you're going to have a negative 96. Negative 96. Then you put this in brackets. So when you multiply this 24 with negative 4, it's giving you 96. Then so let me just rub this. It's making my work to look dirty. I want you to be following, as that now you know what we are doing, because this is the second example. So when you add this, you're going to have your remainder, which is equal to 0. Remember that the number which is at the end there is always equated to the remainder. So when you start doing your remainder theory, it deals with factors. So this is the factor of the polynomial. Meaning if we divide this by this, the remainder is equal to what? 0. You understand this better when we start doing the remainder theory. The remainder theory. No wonder the remainder is good, because it is a perfect. We say, if I tell you to write the factors of 12, you consider those numbers which when you divide 12, they don't, when you divide 12 by the factor of its factor, when you divide 12 by its factor, the remainder is always 0. Let's say this, I'm going to write here, the remainder is 0. Even 12 divided by 4, the remainder is 0. Even 12 divided by 12, the remainder is 0. Even 12 divided by 1, the remainder is 0. Even 12 divided by 2, the remainder is 0. Even 12 divided by 6, the remainder is 0. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, and 12, they are factors of 12. So when something is a factor, it just gives the quotient and the remainder is 0, because here the quotient is 4, R0. Even here the quotient is 3, R0. The quotient here is 1, R0. The quotient here is 12, R0. The quotient here is 6, R0. The quotient here is 2, R0. So this is the concept when you come to deal with the remainders theory. When you divide a polynomial by its factor, the remainder is always what? 0. No wonder we are having the remainder here as 0. So in this case, our work is easier. We just have to write our quotient because the remainder is just what? 0. So let me wrap this. We write the answer. Okay, so writing our answer, you get this. So here it's x to the power 3 plus 11 to the power x to the power 2 plus 24 x. So remember, you come and reduce the powers of x by 1, meaning you divide each and every value with the x. When you do that, you're going to remain with x squared plus 11x plus what? 24. So this is your answer as the quotient. You even write there, quotient is equal to x squared plus 11x plus 24, like that. Then the remainder is what? 0. So the answer to this, you just write this. This is your quotient, because you don't have the remainder, so you don't have to write it using that other format. Okay, so this is what you're expected to do. Let me solve another question for you, and the fourth one will be your task. You'll be required to write your answers in the comment section, just to test your understanding, Team Rare. So always revise. Studying is very important. Alright, so the last example is this. The dividend is equal to 6 to the x to the power 3 plus x squared minus 21x minus 10, and the divisor is 2x plus 1. So first step in synthetic is you get the divisor. In this case, we put this. So my battery is low. Let me just put my PC on charge. I'll get back to you in a few seconds. Alright, we are set. We can continue with our tutorial. Alright, so the first step, you get the divisor. In this case, the divisor is 2x plus 1. You equate this to what? To 0. If you equate this to 0, you want to find the value of x. So in this case, the value of x is just x is equal to negative half. So this is the value of our x. Then when we do that, right, check your degree of polynomial. In this case, it has got the highest power to be what? X to the power 3. So you write the coefficient, you just write this to guide your coefficients, because these are the powers you have. Here it is x and x to the power 0. When you do that, write your synthetic house, meaning here you write down the coefficient of x to the power 3, which is 6, and here you write down the coefficient of x to the power 2, which is 1. Here it is negative 21, and here it is what? Negative 10. Then you get your negative 1 over 2, meaning the value of your x, you put it here, which is half, like that. Then you drop this 6. So you multiply negative half by 6. This will just give you negative 3. So this is negative 3. You write your negative 3 there. Then you put in brackets. Then you add there. When you add these two terms, you find that your answer there will be negative 2. Then you continue, you multiply again, negative half by negative 2, meaning there you're just going to have what? 1, because this and this will cancel. Then negative 1 by negative 1 is simply what? 1. So you write here 1, then you add 1 to this. When you add 1, this will give you negative 20, like that. Then you continue. Let me just wrap this part. Continue to multiply what is down there. So in this case, you multiply negative 1 over 2 by negative 20. So when you do that, these two and these two can cancel, you remain with 10 there. So negative 10. So negative 1 by negative 10 is simply what? 10. So you write your 10 there, like that. Then you put in brackets and add this. When you add this, this will give you a 0, meaning this also is a factor of this polynomial, because the remainder is what? 0. So using the remainders theory with this synthetic division, I think I've taught you already, but I'll make a video on it. It will be uploaded maybe after next week, or probably next week. So the number you get at the end there is always your remainder. So write your remainder there as 0. Then we come to write the quotient. So you get the coefficients 6, and you also get the variables they are representing. In this case, 6 is representing x to the power 3. Then you get this coefficient, which is 2. The variable corresponding is what? X squared. You get this coefficient is negative 20. The variable corresponding is what? X. Then you come and reduce this by 1x, 1 power, and you divide them by x. When you do that, your answer will give you this. This is your quotient, 6x squared minus 2x minus 20, like that. So your quotient here is just 6x squared minus 2x minus 20. It is as simple as saying 1, 2, 3. Hope you understand. Team Rare. So let me give you my exercise now, the one you have to write. Write the answers in the comment section. Don't forget to boost that like button and share the video to your friends. Also, remember to subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. Alright, so let me give you this. equation to divide. I'll just give you a very simple one. So the dividend, you've got 4x to the power 3 minus 2x to the power 2 plus 4x plus 2. Then divide this by this divisor, x plus x plus 1 divisor, and also question B. So use the same equation but use these different divisors. So I expect 4 answers in the comment section. Divisor number 1, divide by this, then next by this, then next by this, then next you divide it by x negative 2. So I expect 4 answers. Your A, divide by this divisor, B by this, C by this, D by this, using the same polynomial given as the dividend. Always use the same procedures I've taught you. Don't skip any. But in the comment section, I just want answers to these questions.